mark of the beast is here. No, it's not. The mark of the beast is not here at all. Thank you for asking the question about my thoughts on the mark of the beast. It's not really my thoughts. It's actually what it is. So, although many people throughout time and history, since this Christianity took over, people have tried to establish the mark of the beast has been anything that any government or any private industry has instituted that makes buying and selling of goods either more difficult or put some type of control on it. And that's what most people, that's the knowledge that most people have about the mark of the beast, but they're lacking in a huge part of that knowledge. So let me break it down for you. The writings of Revelation, by John of Patmos, supposedly, was a apocalyptic literature that was speaking of that generation and what they were expecting to happen in that generation. You see, even in their book, the Gospels say that Jesus will return within this generation. This generation will not pass. Some of you standing here today will live and see the return of man, all that bullshit. The thing about the book of Revelations is that they thought that Nero, there was a rumor, there was a myth, that Nero had went east and had not actually died. And that Nero, with I believe the Seleucians, would return back and retake Rome away from Vespasian and reconquer the Roman Empire. And upon Nero's reconquering of the empire, he would specifically target groups like Christians and persecute them. So the 666 number is the Greek of the naming of Nero. Go look it up. The Vulgate has it as 616 because that's the Latin number that spells Nero. And in each time, you know that is Nero because if the Greek and the Latin changes the number from 666 to fit Nero and 616 to fit Nero, they're both talking about Nero and this return that he will make with an army and retake Rome and then persecute Christians. And all of this was supposed to happen before that generation died. So the mark of the beast is not a social security number. It's not a chip that they put on your hand. But this was, in the Roman culture of that day, in order for you to own a business, buy and sell and trade, you had to have a stamp from the Roman government in order to be in business. So the mark, even for that era, wasn't for the individual person. It was for businesses to legalize them to buy and sell so that the government can tax that ass. So that was the purpose of it. And then all the other apocalyptic literature is just, Tales from the Crypt. Dating myself with that reference right there. But it's just old Tales from the Crypt, scary time, scary time. Let me tell you, it's going to be the horsemen coming. Y'all going to die. And the army of 200 million. We can't have an army of 200 million today. There's nobody with an army of 200 million. If you put all the militaries of the world together, I don't think you still don't have 200 million people in an army. So those kinds of prophecies are not going to happen, will not happen. A third of the community is not going to die based on these four angels coming at the edge of at the banks of the Euphrates. Euphrates is not drying up. The asteroid hadn't hit. All the fresh water hasn't turned poisonous. The world is not covered in darkness like a sackcloth. The sun blotted out. All these kinds of things. The moon turning into blood. All the plagues of Israel are supposed to happen. So that's all the waters have to turn into blood. Not look red, but turn into blood. So it's just apocalyptic literature to keep people fearful and scared so that they could stay within that religious confines, and especially during the time frame of, the early first century, or the mid to late first century. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.